And I proudly represent the company of Harcourts, Rata and Co. I'm joined here today by the team in blue, the best team in the north. Should you require their advice, please feel free to approach either Rose, Mary, Maria and of course Ilia Menkinoski, who's inside at the moment, but who I'm sure you've all had the great pleasure of becoming acquainted with throughout the marketing campaign. Let me share with you now the announcements which are in place to help you bid and buy with absolute confidence here today. The auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that are available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prevent an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price as the auctioneer will indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding and provides for fines for such conduct. The rules permit for vendor bids. The words I'll use during the auction to indicate that I'm making a bid on behalf of the vendor are vendor bid, and by law only I, as the auctioneer, can make a vendor bid. The contract of sale has been on display prior to today's auction. We call for a 10% deposit upon the fall of the hammer and the signing of that contract to take place here today, with the balance to be paid at settlement in an extremely flexible 30 to 120 days time, at which time the vendor will provide the lucky buyer with vacant possession of the property. All in all, quite a straightforward contract. Everything is in there, everything is quite clear. Buyers is with my highest recommendation what we offer for your consideration and competition here today. Up and down Fernshaw Street and the surrounding streets, you don't see many for sale boards, and that's for very good reason. It is a tightly held pocket, because when you move into this neighbourhood, you move in to stay. You move in to lay down your roots and grow your family. And what a great family location we have on offer. Easy access to everything that you need for superior lifestyle. Shopping, transport, schooling, parkland at your fingertips. Add to that a great home, a great family home, an elevated double fronted brick. They don't build them like this anymore. Plenty of room for the family today. Plenty of room for the family to grow into. What an opportunity to bid, buy, secure your future and get the sold sticker up on the board. If that is your goal, buyers, right now is the opportunity to secure that right. Where can I see a fair and reasonable starting bid for one Fernshaw? Who'd like to start us off, buyers? I don't mind the call. I'm in your hands. At 700,000 now, a bit light on, but I'll go with 700,000 fairly been offered now at 700 the bid, and I'll take 25 in the rise. At 700,000, can I say 725? At 700,000 fairly been offered now at 700 the bid, even money at 7. At 700,000 now for the first call at 700,000. Are we done? At 700,000, second call at 700,000 the bid, all done. Finished at 700,000 for the third and final call at 700 the bid, all done. Finished. 17. I was taking 25 in the rise, so can I say 725? Come in with some strength. 715. At 715, I'll negotiate with you. Shorter my stride for you at 715, and same courtesy at 15 if you like. Welcome and best of luck at 15. It's got to be 30 at 30 now at 730,000. At 730,000. At 750 now at 750,000, and the bid's at 50. At 750,000, fairly been offered now at 750 the bid. At 760, short of my stride once more for you at 760 in the bid set. At 70 now, at 770,000, fairly been offered now at 770 the bid. At 770,000, bid here on my left, opportunity with you both. At 770 I've got. At 770,000, first call at 770, all done. At 770 the bid for the second call at 770,000. At 80 now, at 780. How about 800, ma'am? Sir, at 8, can I say 800 in the rise? At 780,000 in the bids there. At 790 now, and 800 beckons now. At 790 the bid. At 790,000, bid back there, got to be 8. 795. At 795, short of my stride, once more, 795. At 795, 800 now, at 800 got. At 800,000, even money, that are we done here, sir? At 800,000 now, still take the 5 if it helps, at 800 in the bids there. At 800 the bid. At 8... I won't take 2, so I'll take 5 though. At 800,000 the bid's there. Can I say 805 now? At 800,000 even money at 805, and welcome back at 5. At 805. At 805,000, 10 if you like. At 810,000 got now. At 810 the bid. At 810,000, 15 now if you like. At 15 the call and 10 got. At 810,000 fairly been offered behind at 810 now. First call at 810,000, all done. Second call at 810. at 15, and welcome back at 15 and 20 the call now. At 20, 17? At 17, can I say 17 and a half? Just helps me keep track. At 17 and a half now. At 8.17 and a half, we'll take that 2.5 off you soon now if you've got it. At 8.17 and a half and the bid's there. At 8.17,500 and same courtesy at 2.5 if you like, make it 20 in the rise. At 817,500, first call at 8.17 and a half, all done. Second call, 8.17 and a half, done, finished. For the third and final call, 817,500, all done, finished, silent and out, 817,500, still representative of great value at that. At 817,500, consider the location here, consider the quality of the build. At 817,500 and the bids here now. At 8.17 and a half, 2.5, so if you'd like to get back in, throw your hat back in the ring. At 817,500 once. At 817 and a half, second call at 8.17 and a half, third, final call, 817,500, all done, all finished, all silent out at 8.17 and a half. So ma'am, can I confirm that bid at 817,500? Bear with me one moment, I do need to seek some instructions, I'll be back momentarily, thank you. you so much for your patience. One more time at 817,500 at 817 and a half. 830,000. You've strengthened your position to 830 the bid at 830,000. Thank you for that information, Dan. At 830,000, I'm pleased to say that we are on the market selling here today. So at 830,000, the bid's here, the keys are here. If you've come to buy, bid me now or forever hold your peace, because we sell away. 830 the bid. The bid's there, the keys are there. We're selling at $830,000 the bid. It's now or never if you've come to buy. We're playing for keeps, no second chances. 830,000 now for the first call at 830. Are we all done at 832 and a half? Welcome and best of luck at 832 and a half, and the bid's there at 32 and a half. At 832,500, you worked so hard to get yourself in the position. The keys were in your pocket. At 832,500, now is where it counts. At 832,500, fairly been offered over here. We're on the market. We're selling. The bid's here. The keys are here at 832 and a half now. First call at 832,500, all done. Second call, 832 and a half, done, finished. For the third and final call, 832,500, all done, all finished. Silent out 832 and a half. 833 and a half at 34 now at 834. It was only a $500 bid, an easy one to beat. At 834,000, the bid's there. Opportunity back with you. So we done now, only the one bid today. At 35 now, at 835,000 and a half, at 835 and a half, done here, sir. We done over there at 835 and a half, at 835,500, bid back here, take me to 40. 835,500, fairly been offered now, at 835 and a half, at 835,500, at 836 now, at 836 the bid, at 836 and a half now, at 836,500, fairly been offered now. 40 might be the limit for the competition. 836 and a half now, fairly been offered over there. 37 now and a half, sir. 37 and a half at 837 and a half now, at 837,500. Get me to 40. 837 and a half now. First call at 837,500. All done. Second call, 837,500. Done and finished. That's the first time that's ever happened. Never happened to me before at an auction. 837 and a half, bid here, keys here. Third, final call, 837,500 the bid. All done, finished. Silent out 837 and a half. Definitely done here, sir. I can't entice you back in for half, sir. Definitely out. Thank you very much for your bidding here today. 837,500. Ma'am, sir, last chance. At 837,500 the bid. If you're here to buy, this is the moment. This is where you've got to dig deep to buy. Give me another half, get back on top. 837 and a half, the bid's there, the keys are there. We play for keeps. One last roll of the dice. Give me a big one. 837,500. First call. 838,000 now and a half at 838 and a half. At 838,500, keeps coming back in with those halves. Brick by brick we go here today at 838,500. Bids back there, keys back there. Opportunity still here though at 838,500 once at 838,500. Second call for the third and final call, 838,500. All done. Finished. Silent out 838 and a half. Can I say 40, ma'am? Sir, give me 40. Put yourself in the best position. Walk away having given it your best, or walk away with the keys, but never walk away with any doubt. At 838,500, the bid's there and the keys are there. I'm about to sell. If you're still in the game, let me know now. It's now or never. At 838,500. Once, twice, third, final call. 838 and a half. All done. 840 now, and a great bid and a half. It wasn't to be at 840 and a half now. At 840,500, might have just done it there now, sir. At 840,500, fairly been offered now. At 840 and a half. Are we definitely done now? I'll circle back in one moment at 840,500, the bid. The bid there, the keys there. We're on the market. We sell. If you've come to buy, last chance, show me now. 840,500. Once at 840 and a half, all done. done, twice, 840,500, done, finished, third, final call, 840,500, or done, finished, silent out, out, out. Ma'am, sir, do I have your absolute best? We're definitely done. Thank you very much for your spirited bidding here today. We are selling, 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 sold. Congratulations and well bid. Please join me congratulating our purchasers and our vendors here today. You've just witnessed another successful Harcourts Rata & Co auction. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.